Hello, screenwriters. We are back for another episode of reading brutal reviews of my script. Where will this end? I'm kidding. This week, I'm going to be reading a feedback I received from this pilot that I wrote with a friend of mine. The pilot is called Hacking Life. We had a fun time writing the pilot. However, this reader did not have a fun time reading it. Let's go. Act 2. So, if a lot of the stuff that was in Act 1 really should have been in Act 2, it stands to reason that Act is going to be full of stuff. It's going to be full of stuff that's probably better elsewhere, right? Sort of. Most people will start the pilot off with Jacoby dining out in Mexico. So in that sense, it's more traditional Act 1 material. But in this case, it's not, because it's kind of out there. By which I mean, I have no idea what's going on or how it connects with what's going before it. Specifically, the force field stuff. That's particularly a problem because pages 15 through 19 are rather thick. No dialogue, lots of ink, very little white space, etc. The script's pace has slowed considerably and it's apparently veered off course. That's a recipe for losing an audience. And all this happens before we get the time travel thing. This is where things go absolutely off the rails. That's the type of plot twist the audience needs to be prepared for. Otherwise, it just feels arbitrary. Act 2. And as if that weren't enough, the space event on page 29 only adds to the arbitrariness of the script. This one isn't as capricious because we've been let in on some super secret military goings on, but it still comes off as out of the blue. The chaos on page 31, is that really how people in San Francisco would react to events in Asia? Doubtfully. The act is also only 5 pages long. It's best to try and keep all 5 acts roughly the same length, since it helps to balance the story beats and maintain pacing. Act 4. I really don't even know where to begin with this. When the general speaks on the bottom of page 33, he's supposed to be clarifying something, but doesn't actually deliver any coherent information. How does Jacoby get from San Francisco back to Mexico in the middle of this crazy worldwide catastrophe? If the streets of San Fran are in chaos, won't other cities have the same problem at last in this universe? Act 5. I give up. Oh man, even though this review is brutal, it's kind of funny though. Like, I've never had someone submit a feedback with the words "I give up." That's bad. I shouldn't be laughing. Act 5. I give up. Here's the bottom line: stories with multiple timelines are really tough to execute in a coherent way, and this story just doesn't get the job done. The further along the story goes, the less sense it makes, and frankly, the more frustrating it is for the reader. A lot of this can be laid at the feet of the plot, but it also has in large part to do with the characters. The relationship between Jacoby and Sam is tortured and rushed. It doesn't feel organic at all. The dialogue between them never congeals. Jacoby is always in a rush to tell her he's falling madly in love with her at first sight, and Samantha is just playing along because, why exactly? She's seeing someone, but agrees to go on what is very clearly a date, no matter what she says, with someone. Sam really bears all the hallmarks of a female character who is little more than pliable to the male protagonist's narrative, and since that relationship is going to be the backbone of the series, the whole thing falls apart. Also, the very end when Jacoby explained that he's being taken back to every crime he's committed, is that what happened in the plot? No, absolutely not. There's no need for a world-devouring black hole in that series logline. Yeah, this was a long one, and there was a lot of good points the reader made. Especially, again, I talked about this last week, my characters. That's something that, I need to really work on. because the reader mentioned a good point. Because the story, honestly, the backbone of the story is going to be the relationship between our main character and his love interest. And in the pilot, apparently, I didn't do a good job establishing that relationship and the love. Yeah, it was a fun story to write, and it's not where it's supposed to be yet. I have a lot of work to do. Yeah, that was, this was I would say more the funnier feedbacks I've gotten. Yes, it's still brutal, but the best part when he was like, "I give up," he threw his hands up. All right, I got some news. I know I haven't released any new episodes for 5 Questions with a Screenwriter. I've been hard at work, talking to some screenwriters. I have new episodes coming up soon. I'm excited. I think I might drop a trailer for it. I'm not sure. But I'm having so much fun talking with these wonderful screenwriters, and I can't wait to share the interviews with you all. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please give me a like and share this with your friends, and make sure you go to stratword.com to write your screenplay. Fade out.